person 67, so your energy engages on the rainbow road, and you from this golden light you manifest into this big bell. And this big bell, it's like it's almost like a big Liberty Bell, right? But I get the feeling of like cuckoo clock too, because then all of a sudden these two, like a little boy and a little girl, like little wooden dolls, come out on each side, and they're hitting the bell and with those little hammers. And you know how, I don't know, in a cuckoo clock how that happens, it basically comes out from the sides, and the kids one by one hit the sides of the bell and like ring the bell, and I think then the cuckoo bird comes out. But that wasn't the focus. It was like you were the bell, and I felt like this masculine and feminine energy were on the side and dinging the bell, and like it's time is kind of what I got. And I hear like in the background, I think it's like a Christmas song where orchestra choir people are singing ding dong ding dong, and that's all I kept getting. I couldn't get any of the other words or lyrics to that song. It just kept doing the ding dong ding dong. And so that happened for a while, and then all of a sudden the kids come to the front of the bell, and they're like on these tracks, and now they're almost like Tom and Jerry, like hitting each other on the head with the anvils. And so I get the feeling like young kids, right? Like two kids that would engage in like brother and sister kind of fighting habits. And so they're like moving in this straight line towards kind of the portal, and they're banging each other on the head with these hammers. And then all of a sudden the boy breaks away from the girl, and the boy now is looking backwards at the girl, and he's being pulled into the portal, but never gets to the portal, and he's shooting out like electricity from his hands. And I get the whole like Marty McFly thing, and I get the word, or the words, Back to the Future. And so I see him like being pulled and away from the girl and back to the future. And so sitting in a contemplative meditation, this is very hard, and being semi-dyslexic, this is very hard for me to like wrap my head around in that state. So Back to the Future, your reading was so confusing, so email me if this doesn't resonate with you, because I'm gonna go off on the tangent I think they were getting me to go towards, but I just have absolutely no clue. So what I'm getting, I'm not sure if you're having kids or have kids or don't have kids, but what I kept getting pulled to is, you know, possibly like with the bell and the dinging of these children on the side of the bell, and it's time, like I'm getting that there's this feeling or this maybe want for a child. And now because the boy's being pulled, I don't know if you have the girl and you want the boy, or I'm not even sure what this masculine feminine energy, it could be so much bigger than just the specific like children energy. It could be like the divine feminine, the divine masculine. So the divine feminine is all about the kind of metaphysical things and how we run our energy, and we can ask things to the universe and get that back. And the masculine energy is more the do it now, like the linear thought process, like I have to think things through. And so maybe it could resonate with that, but I was so sucked into this kid thing. So then we move through the portal, and as you jump through the portal, it's really interesting because the energy turns into this brown bear, and the brown bear then is like fishing for a fish, of course. And so interesting because I just read person 65, and it's so funny how the guides bring me people back to back like this to prove a point. Like 65 is the complete opposite energy of you, so if you listen to 65, it'd be interesting to hear. But they on my chakra totem were the unicorn, which is the crown, and you on my chakra totem, which I've done for myself, is the brown bear. And so you took on the energy of this brown bear. So this is root chakra, but brown bear to me in my chakra totem is all about family protection and providing. And so this is the exact energy of root chakra that they were trying to get me to dial in for you. And so again, now I'm like, I question so heavily like the boy girl thing in the bell, and I'm like, it can't be this specific. But then now with the black or the brown bear energy, brown bear is family, providing, and protection. And so I'm seeing you fishing for a fish. So I don't know if you're the main provider. Maybe you already have a family, or maybe you're the main provider and that's why you've chosen not to have a family, because you'd have to stop, doing the main work. I'm not sure. It's some kind of energy like this, because I saw you finding the fish, and then I saw you get out of the water and you're now on land, and you've got this fish in your mouth, and there's 2 little baby cubs following you. And so from here, I then see you, the bear like does this somersault roll and stands up, and you've got this, now you're like a hunter, and you've got, you're wearing like that weird Elmer Fudd ear flap thing, and you've got this hunting gun, and it's so interesting because you start moving left to right. It's almost like a, what is that game? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. I can't not think about it now. So, foosball, where the little people are on these handles that you can push back and forth, but they can't move up or down. And so that's what was happening. Like, you were moving all the way to the left and all the way to the right in this straight line, and you would shoot these huge bullets, and they were making these zigzag patterns because you were moving all the way to the left and you'd shoot like 10 bullets, and then you move all the way to the right and shoot 10 bullets, and then all the way to the left and shoot 10 bullets on your way over. So they were making these zigzagging patterns, and it's interesting because there were these bullets coming back at you, but you were missing them completely. So I get like this crossfire, and I felt like a masculine energy shooting back at you. So, I'm not sure, then I was pulled to like, is there a masculine energy in the picture? And, there seems like there's this, firing back and forth. So now if I stay with my same train of thought, it's like, okay, maybe is it time to have kids, but there's some debate going back and forth, or is it that you are like a sole provider, and maybe you went through some kind of divorce, and now you're the sole provider, but you still want that another children. I'm not sure. I was so confused, and I'm so sorry. And so so from here we move through this battleground, and actually how you move away from this is you start ascending up this staircase. It was like just a zigzag like staircase, surrounded by blackness, and you're walking towards this black door. And as you get to the top, then we get sucked through this black door, and then you get pulled up even higher, which is just me trying to raise my frequency to understand better. And then as you exit the top of this tube, you're like on top of a mountain, which isn't unfamiliar to me, and going to the Akashic Records. And then I see the path that you have to get to your Akashic Records. It's almost like we're on the Great Wall of China, but like the Great Wall of China is like the size of like an inch across, and so it's almost like a tightrope, but it's down the side of a mountain and then up another side of a mountain, but it's like the steepest down and up you've ever seen, and you have like no room to try and get there. So I get that already, we're walking the ledge here, trying to get through. And then as you move up into the Akashic Records, it's like one of those towers that separate the different parts of the walls of China, how it has that like center tower. So that's what it looks like. So we go to that, and you open the door, and I'm like, okay, how's the records going to open up from here, because it's just like one stacked tower. And so you go in, and it's actually completely conformed around your body, and there's like no space. It's like you're trapped. And so I get that this is an indication of, again, we're back to you were really grounded and providing and in the root chakra, and really in this physical world. But I get, as soon as we try and get into the metaphysical world, or the crown chakra area, or this higher wisdom, it's like you feel trapped, or what I was getting is you don't have space for this in your life. And so I'm getting that there's this block of the crown chakra energy, and that it's almost like you're not giving yourself time or space to let this flow into your life. And so as soon as that happened, then we got pulled up through this tower, and it opened up to your Akashic Records, and your Akashic Records were like basically the entire sky. And so I haven't seen this before, and of course what this is guiding me towards is that there is so much for you to be able, let's see, to step into here, it's like you have, how do I even want to put this? It's like you have so much greatness at your fingertips, and it's like endless amounts of wisdom and guidance at your fingertips, but it's like you were in that tower, and you're not accepting or not allowing the space for this in your life, is what I get. And so you just have endless amounts of this at your disposal, but for whatever reason you're not allowing it into your life, is kind of what I'm getting. And so I call down your higher self, and your higher self comes down as like this old wise dude in like a white tunic, and he's like really old and has like a hunchback, and but he's got like a Tahitian like flower crown on. He was really interesting. I feel like he's trying to convey like old and wisdom and like that connection to the Divine Father, but also I feel like he would be the first one to say yes to peyote if it was offered, or some kind of hallucinogenic drug. So, and hey, maybe that's like an indication. Maybe that's the only way you think you could connect, to this realm. Maybe that's what he was trying to get me to understand. But, so I asked him, what's for the highest good for this person to know at this moment in time? And he basically says, that you need to start running this divine light. And what he said was that you need to bring in the divine white light, and you need to allow it to fill into your life. And so what I get is, back to all this space about you being this provider and so connected into the root chakra. You are so physically connected to this world that for somebody like you, it would be so easy if you could bring in this white light or this divine light into your life. It would be so easy for you to manifest exactly what your hopes and your dreams were. So for me, I'm the exact opposite. I had such an easy time seeing and knowing and understanding spirituality, but to manifest it, I was not grounded in the physical world. So it took everything from me to get grounded in this physical world. So what that would look like is, for you, somebody like you, you're so engaged in everything that's going on around you. It's almost more of like a male trait where you can be so comfortable in your space, and it's very providing, like family. This is somebody in my eyes as a female. If you have a family, like you would do anything for your family. Like that's all you do. It's all about them. There's no space for basically you. It's like, it's everything's given and to them, for you're providing for them basically, and that's your purpose. And so I would get that if you allowed this light to start filling into your space, and a simple easy thing you could even do in every morning and every night is just envision up above your head a white light coming down into your body, and just trying to feel a warmth or a coolness or a tingle that moves through as you pull that white light down through your head and down into your toes, and then send it into the earth. And if you can do that and just start to open yourself to more of the subtle energies that are moving around you, I think you start to get so much divine guidance and direction. And this isn't like you're going to see angels or any of the like metaphysical stuff. It's basically that your life just starts to align to whatever that divine purpose is. Like everything just starts to click into place, and everything manifests. And if it's back to that kid, and whatever it's time, if it's time for kids, or you really want that boy, or whatever that whole energy was, I feel like if you can open up to this light, you get it. Basically, whatever you think you want, whatever you feel in your field, it's going to come through. So it's allowing that white light to come in, and to open up space is basically what I was getting, to allow for space. And it's so interesting because I kept asking your higher self, I'm like, what the heck does this whole beginning of this conversation mean? And your higher self wouldn't give me anything. All they were talking about was the very last 30 seconds about the tower and opening yourself up to light, and then bridging that light down into your physical world that you're living in right now. So I'm so sorry if this doesn't resonate with you. I tried my hardest to understand what that whole bell and kid and mama bear and firing, crossfire, all of that was, but it just didn't connect. So hopefully that resonates with you in some way that you know of. And please send me an email. I'd be happy to do another one if that still doesn't make sense for you as well. With light and love.